We are live. What's up, Finland Live family? It's Darnold Jr., your favorite insurance agent. And if you are watching this live, go ahead and type in the comments, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, put in the chat, hashtag replay. I appreciate you for being on. As you know, Finland Live stands for Financial Literacy Live. And this is the show where we educate people on personal finances. Because growing up, I feel like I didn't get the education, and I got the education later in life, and there's still things I don't know personally. So I'm the expert at insurance. So what I do is I know a lot of people, so I invite them on the show and we pick their brains as far as different subjects. And today we have Ahngelea Bright, and she is a tax expert. She has a double master's, a double MBA, guys, so you definitely want to go tune in. So let's go ahead and get lit. All right, without any further ado, let me bring on Ahngelea Bright.
Hey, y'all.
How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you, and welcome to the show. For the audience, go ahead and introduce yourself. What is your background? What are you up to? What inspired you to do what you do?
All right, I am Ahngelea Christiani. My background is in accounting. I got my bachelor's in accounting, and I've been working as a bookkeeper and as a tax professional for the last 5, going on 6 years. And I do have a double MBA in finance and investment management. And so I am the owner of Tax Keeping by AC. We specialize in virtual bookkeeping and tax services for small business owners.
Well, that's exciting. It sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
Always, but that is, what keeps me going. I love working. I love working with my small business owners. I love strategizing, whether it's tax planning or just strategic planning to pay off your debt, to build your savings account, to meet whatever your financial goals are. That is my passion.
Wow, that's exciting. How do you develop that passion? Like, that's a unique passion. You don't hear that very often.
So how did I develop it? Well, my mom taught us at a young age about investing. And so I want to say that would have been my first interest in finance, in the finance industry. And then in college, I had done an internship at Scottrade, which now has been bought out by TD Ameritrade. And so I got to work with a lot of great finance professionals with, very intense backgrounds. And I just learned a lot, and that just continued to pique and grow my interest. And so once I graduated with my undergrad degree, my accounting degree, I started working with a small boutique real estate firm. And that honestly was what piqued my interest with working with small business owners. They were, like I said, they were a small real estate firm. So I got to have my hands on everything within that firm. And then we started adding on clients for me to manage their bookkeeping. And so I was working with various different business owners in various industries and just strategizing with them, working in all the different industries, having my hands everywhere. That was just so energizing. And it was just, it was never the same. Every day was different. It was never a dull moment. And so that, I guess that's how my whole interest grew.
Well, that's exciting. Well, I've been in insurance for 11 years now, but before I joined insurance, I actually used to work for a tax firm. I don't know if you knew that or not. And yeah, so she was a small accounting firm herself. And the thing is, she focused on business and personal taxes, but she had all these nonprofits that wanted her attention. And she's like, I just don't have time to give it to you. And so essentially she raised me up to be able to help nonprofits get started, to get their 501c3 license. And so that was my specialty. And it was really, really fun working with those clientele because they had big hearts, but they were very motivated, driven people. So I understand your heart with working with small business owners. So, but without any further ado, people are here because they want to get out of debt. Like, debt is a big issue nowadays. Maybe they want to buy a house. Maybe they just want to build their net worth. Maybe they want to get out of credit card debt. So let's just go ahead and dive into our topic today. So what are your top 5 tips on getting out of debt?
Okay, so before we even jump into our tips, what a lot of people fail to do is to create a budget. that's really going to be your first step into achieving your debt-free lifestyle. So you need to really organize all of your expenses, get a list of all your money that's coming in on a monthly basis. And so that way you can identify what is your discretionary income. Your discretionary income is what is going to help you get out of debt. Okay. So that's off the rip. You got to create a budget so that way you know how much extra money you can throw at your debt. All right. My first tip would be to always pay on time. All right. So you want to pay your bills or pay your debt on time. That is going to be a determining factor in your credit. If you miss a payment or you pay late, that can negatively affect your credit. So we want to pay on time. Then also focus on one debt at a time. A lot of us, you might have a whole list of debt. You might have student loans, multiple credit card debts, your car, your house. The way to really knock out debt is to focus on one piece of debt at a time. So instead of trying to tackle all 10 of your different debts, focus on one. So pay your minimum payments. You always want to pay your minimum payments. Pay your minimum payments on time. Now focus on that one piece of debt. So whether it's the one, it depends on your strategy. You can pick the one that has the highest interest rate and tackle that one first, right? Because obviously the interest is that extra expense that's added on. So if you tackle the highest interest first, then you are saving yourself a lot of money. Or you can tackle the smallest debt first. Go ahead and tackle that little bitty one, get it out the way. That way you can focus on bigger fish, right? So just pick one, focus on that one. All the rest of them, pay the minimum balance and pay it on time. And then whatever your discretionary is that you have determined from your budget, then you throw that additional money towards the one piece of debt that you are going to focus on. And you just continue to throw all your extra discretionary income towards that one piece of debt. Once that one is paid off, now you have those extra funds to throw to the next piece of debt. And then as you continue to knock, debt off of your list, now you're going to have more and more money to continue to throw at whatever debt that you are focusing on. Okay. And again, the next tip is just find out what your strategy is. Okay. So if you are, let's say you have a small amount of discretionary income, start off with the smallest piece of debt. Okay. That way you get that little one out the way, and then you can grow the amount that you're able to throw at your debt at the next debt. So start at the little one. If you have a more flexibility in your discretionary income, so you have more disposable income, then go ahead and tackle the highest interest first. Okay. So that's one of the ways you can decipher a strategy. If you were to work with us, we will just based off your discretionary income, based off of the amount of debt that you have, we will formulate a custom debt management strategy for you. But those are like the two easiest ways to kind of determine how to just start tackling off that debt. Another thing a lot of people are scared of is refinancing their debt. Sometimes it's way easier if you have a lot of different debt and you have a lot of high interest debt. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just refinance it. And especially in this time where interest is low, that can be a great option. You can get either a private loan and basically you just pay off all the individual debts and then you just focus on that one loan, and you can get that loan at a lower interest than what you're paying on all your individual debts. And there's also third-party companies that will help you consolidate your debt. And you can even do like debt transfers. You can do it at 0% interest for a year. Like those are amazing. So you just really need to do your research because you save so much money on the amount of interest that you would be paying. And especially if you can get it at 0% interest, then you can really just knock out that debt and you can knock it out fast because everything that you're throwing at that debt is going directly to the principal and not to interest. So definitely negotiating terms with your creditors, finding a third-party person who can help consolidate your debt, or consider a personal loan. That way you have a lower interest, and you can, those are methods that way you can save the most interest. My fourth advice would be to whatever additional income that you have coming in, throw it at your debt. So for instance, your tax refunds. If you're getting $4,000 or $5,000, it doesn't matter how much you're getting. If you're getting anything back on refunds and your goal is to pay off your debt, throw that money straight towards your, straight towards your debt. Why not just go ahead and knock it off? Or what I like to advise my clients is to invest that money and let that money grow. And then as that money has grown, then you throw it towards your debt, because now you have inflated the value of that money. And now you have a bigger portion to throw at your debt. But it also depends all on your plan and your strategy. If you're trying to do it as quick as possible, then it may be easier to just throw those lump sums at your debt. But if you have other discretionary income and you're able to pay down that debt, maybe you want to grow a lump of money first and then, use a part of that for debt and use a part of it for other avenues. So you have your tax refunds, all the stimulus that you guys have been receiving, go to your debt. Like, don't spend it. What else are you spending it on? Go ahead and throw that at your debt and take care of that debt. Get the debt out the way. Or if you have money coming in that it was anything that was unexpected income or unexpected just cash flow, throw it at your debt and knock that debt out. And you'll be surprised whenever you do get that extra piece of change and you throw it towards your debt, you'll be surprised at how much it really knocks off. And, it goes by so much faster. Now, the last tip I have, and this is the one that most people have the most issues with, is don't add any more to your debt. It's the simplest one, but it's the hardest one. Don't add any more debt to your debt. Okay, if you're continuously spending money and increasing your debt, then it's just a cycle that's just never going to stop. So if you keep throwing money towards your debt, but then you keep adding to your debt, it's just an endless cycle. So do your budget. When you do your budget, see what expenses that you can eliminate. See where are you spending too much money. See where you can budget, cut back some discretionary expenses, and then go ahead and just create your plan and throw as much money towards, one debt at a time.
Oh my gosh, these are awesome tips. And obviously, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and then we're going to open up to the audience. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. So just to summarize all the things you said, I was taking notes myself. It says always pay on time. Find out what your strategy is. So one of the things you alluded to was the snowball versus the avalanche strategy. So snowball is where you pay the smallest first, and then you grow and grow and grow. Avalanche is where you pay the highest interest one first, and then you continuously pay the highest interest until everything's paid down. And then any additional income, you throw it towards your debt. And then the last one, don't add any more debt to your debt. Like you said, I think that's honestly probably the hardest one. The temptation is like, oh, I got a little bit more credit on my credit card, so I could buy this new whatever and fill in the blank, And so it takes a lot of discipline. And I think that's the thing is the reason we go into debt is probably because of the lack of discipline. And I said this before on a different show, but I love how Rory Baden puts it. He says it's not necessarily a lack of discipline, but it's a lack of vision. Because if your vision is strong enough, like if you want to get out of debt bad enough, you're going to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. But if your vision isn't strong enough, then you are going to start swiping more, and you'll just be, and then you'll be going in circles on the same roller coaster, going up and down, and never getting off the roller coaster. Yeah. And that's not a fun life to live.
Like you said, discipline is the key, and so that's one of the reasons why with Tax Keeping by AC, we provide accountability plans. So we will put together a debt management plan for you, but then we stay involved and we hold you accountable. So once we create that plan, we'll meet with you either monthly or quarterly, and we'll just review, okay, where are you now? Where did you fall off? Why did you fall off? Okay, let's readjust it here. life happens. Sometimes it's not always just discipline, but sometimes it's just life. Like, hey, my car broke down and I had to pay extra for, for my child's daycare or child's school, whatever. And it's like, it's a lot of things happening at once that you didn't really plan for in the beginning. So now we need to reevaluate the plan. And again, that's just life. And so that's why we do the accountability plans. And I feel like that makes a major difference. And the clients love it, because they know, they're like, that's why I'm reaching out for help, because it's like, I'm trying to do it on my own, but I can't. I had things happen. And when things happen and they fall off, they get discouraged. And so it's just all about just stay dedicated, stay, stay disciplined within your goals. That way you can, carry on. Don't get discouraged because you missed a month or you didn't make the goal that month. Just keep on going.
Absolutely. It's a process. And
reevaluate.
Definitely. That's great advice. That's awesome. So it sounds like you do amazing things for your clients. How can people get a hold of you if they want to reach out to you to have that accountability, to have your services that you offer?
You guys can send us an email at info@taxkeepingbyac.com. If you're interested in a debt management plan, bookkeeping, taxes, anything, we'll take care of you. You can follow us on Instagram at Taxkeeping by AC or Facebook at Taxkeeping by AC.
Awesome. So let's open it up to the audience. If you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to type in the chat. She'll be happy to answer any questions about debt management, any strategies, any additional strategies you may have. But if not, thank you, Ahngelea, for being on the show. We appreciate you. And hopefully we can have you on the show in the future. I know this is only a fraction of the things you do. You probably have a ton of strategies about taxes and bookkeeping and all these other services that you offer. And having a double MBA, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I was a double major in undergrad, so I can't imagine doing a double master's at the same time. That was,
I feel like the master's is easier, honestly. A double master's might be easier than a double undergrad. But I didn't do I almost did a double undergrad. Honestly, I almost did accounting and finance. But, you'll be surprised the accounting world and the finance world don't like each other. And so I got taught it. But once I got into corporate, I was like, no, I'm going to make accounting and finance work together. Like, in order for me to provide the best value for my clients, I feel like I have to give them that accounting side, which is just letting them know, hey, this is the position that you're in. But I also give them that finance side by, hey, this is where we're trying to go. Here's the plan. Here's the analysis behind it. Like just giving them where they're at doesn't provide them any growth. It doesn't help them grow to where they're trying to be, where they need to be. So I made it work. Despite what everybody wants to tell me, but I just I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah, that's impressive, because usually, like, I've discovered people that love accounting tend to be more left brain, and people that love finance tend to be more right brain, and usually are good at one or the other. It's just kind of like algebra and geometry. And so accounting was definitely my forte in college, but finance, I only made 3 seasons in college, and finance was one of them. So mad respect for you. I don't know how you did it. So cool. Well, we appreciate you for being on the show, and we look forward to having you on the show in the future.
Of course. Give me a call during tax time. I'll definitely have some knowledge for you guys. But I appreciate you inviting me on the show. I appreciate you taking the time out to have me on today. Thank you for all the listeners. If you guys need anything, just hit me up. I see Jessica on live. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a great weekend. Thanks.
Absolutely. You too. Have a good weekend. Well, if you enjoyed that, go ahead and smash that like button. Share this with your friends and family, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are in debt. I don't know the statistics, but I'm pretty sure it's a pretty high number. And so this is practical advice that will help anybody. And in addition to that, go ahead and like and subscribe FinLit Live on YouTube. I actually have the screen share here today, so let me share that with you. If you go to finlitlive.com, it'll go to this website right here. It's the Tap My Bio. And basically it has all the links to the different social medias that I'm a part of. just go ahead and click on that YouTube link, and it'll take you straight to the YouTube station where you'll find all the various videos that we've done so far. And we're going to have a lot more coming in the future. So my first goal is to get to 100 subscribers. We're almost there, so 79 subscribers. Go ahead and subscribe, put that notification button so that when we do go live, you'll get the notifications, and share this with your friends. And that way we could educate people, because education is half the battle. Like, people don't know what they don't know, and this is a station where we can uncover what they don't know. So once again, I appreciate you guys for being on. And there's Ahngelea again. I appreciate you guys for being on. I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday, amazing week. And thanks for joining us for Getting Lit.